Hello, guys. We're taking you back to what really happened like the day after September 7th. You know, let's take you back to September 7th, 1996, when you have, let me explain to y'all that part. Uh, September 7th, this is where Tupac Shakur, I think, was heading to Las Vegas. That was him and Suge Knight. They're heading there with I think it was with the bodyguards and some blood gang members. They came there to Vegas and then they about to have a good time. They were all heading to DMGM to be in attendance for the Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon heavyweight boxing match. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They were sitting there ringside, you know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody else even knows the situation behind it. When Tyson knocked out Seldon, we explain it to you for once. He had two fights. Mike Tyson had two heavyweight boxing matches on the same year of 1996. He had one with Bruno in March 15th, 1996. Then he had one with Bruce Seldon in September 7th of that year. Yeah, I explain to y'all about it now because the thing about these heavyweight boxing matches, that heavyweight boxing match with Tyson and Seldon, that was already televised. That was courtesy of Showtime. So it was seen on Showtime. You can watch the boxing match that was been out since 1996. I mean, let me explain it to y'all. I just like weeks ago, um, my nephew Ashton Blackmon, he started showing me some footages from YouTube about Mike Tyson knocking out people in the ring. Heavyweight boxing matches were so known for a reason. It's all full contact stuff here. I mean, the MMA, you know what I'm saying? The MMA fighting is more different than boxing. It's different than boxing. So different than boxing. You could just see all the fights that Mike Tyson had already done and started knocking out a bunch of people. He done those knockouts. He knocking them out quick. So let's explain all this. When Tyson finished knocking out Bruce Seldon in the ring, he stepped out of the ring. You know what I'm saying? With his gloves, his boxing gloves and everything on, his trunks on and all that, his boots and all that on. And all of a sudden, he ran to into Tupac. He ran to Tupac and Darius Marion. He ran to them and he gave them a hug. But this is before the hit was already on. They make it like a bit of a gang killing between the Crips and the Bloods. So it's all led to something else. It's all led to some East Coast versus West Coast rivalry. See, Kevin Hackey did not even show up in Vegas on that typical date. Let me explain to y'all in this particular setting. He and Reggie Wright Jr. they got into it over Frank's Nextel two-way walkie-talkie radio. It could have been brought to Frank Alexander. They got into it over a Nextel two-way walkie-talkie radio that was supposed to be for Frank Alexander, who was one of the bodyguards who was assigned to Tupac. They got into it over the Nextel two-way radio, so that's the reason why. Michael Moore was already in Vegas. So is Frank Alexander and Trayvon Lane and Suge Knight and Tupac. And Tupac, this is after the heavyweight boxing match. Pac Pac headed to the dressing room where Mike Tyson is already there at. You can see through the red pictures they have of him and Tyson. That's red pictures. It was red pictures. I think it was after the heavyweight boxing match. Well, this is after the September 6th meeting. It was started with George Calisis, Reggie Wright Jr., Frank Alexander, and Michael Moore. I don't know. I don't know. There was a meeting. They were told that they cannot uh, carry guns with them or on their persons, even though they had to go out of state or headed on into an airplane, or they can leave it in their cars, or they can leave it in their hotel rooms, or they can bring it across state lines. It could be led to an arrest. You know what I'm saying? So that's like take out the weapons and all that. Take out communications and all that. That's worse. How would you just take out communications and take out landlines? That's just stupid. Why you gotta take out, I mean, communications and guns. Actually, communications and weapons. That's just not even part of the plan. But even though, especially some knowledge going on now, I know what happened. Anywho, They got the after September 6th, they got to go September 7th. Tupac was in there in the MGM. He was gambling. He was already over at a crap table gambling. You know what I'm saying? And then Trayvon Lane whispered into his ear and told him, like like there's the guy that jumped me in the Lakewood Mall and trying to snatch my chain. And Tupac he just took off running, and Trayvon had to go with him. Suge had to go with him. Frank Alexander had to go with him. I'm like, shit. And that's what he pointed out. Guess what Trayvon had pointed out? A Southside Crip gang member from Compton who happens to be Orlando TV Anderson. It's that same guy who and jumped Trayvon in the Lakewood Mall. It was somewhere at a Foot Locker. And the scuffle happened over a Death Row Records chain. Now I heard from like previous July of '96 or whatever, or April of '96, there was like I think Sean Combs had already put out a bounty over the Death Row Records chains. There was a bounty over the chains. They put out $1 million in bounty over the chains. But Tupac took off running and rushed Orlando Anderson. He jumped him and rushed him. He punched him and beat him up. All the Bloods right there, Trayvon and them, or probably Trayvon and a few of them had to defuse the fight. Suge was about to defuse the fight. Now they may look now see it may look like Suge was about to kick Orlando Anderson in the head. Trayvon wanted to stump Orlando down his damn self. He been wanting to stomp him down. It was on security camera. And they got another piece of the video. Orlando Anderson being questioned by uh I think it was Las Vegas security or some cops. Reggie Senior wasn't even at the event. Why you have him on tape? Reggie Wright Senior. Why the hell he is at the event? Why is Greg Kading was over at the event? Out of all these sworn officers of the law had to show up at Las Vegas. Come on, man. I don't know if Reggie Wright Sr. denied being in Vegas by the time the Orlando Anderson incident happened. He might say he was at his house in California. And even though then the chief trying to call him uh, around one of those mornings when he was at home at his house in Cali. Look what happened next, and it's how some shit that didn't happen with Orlando Anderson at that type of party. Like, yo, They've been looking for Reggie White Jr. and that's what they're looking for. Why they look? They ain't looking for his father, so they ain't got the Las Vegas PD. They didn't want no deal. They didn't want to deal with him with Reggie Senior. They just want to deal with Reggie Jr. With Reggie Jr. So the easy way is, even though Tupac, Suge, Frank, Trayvon, a few other people, they all took off running and left the building. Mob James could have told Tupac like, "Yo, this ain't your business to keep getting yourself into a fight." So Pac wanted to be long, but he wanted to be long on his own. Shit, but he just a rapper. He ain't no gang member. So whatever. So after this shit, after they all took off running and left the MGM, Tupac had to go with Frank Alexander to head to the Luxor Hotel. In other words, why the hell did he had to bring Kedada Jones, who was the sister of Quincy Jones III and Rashida Jones, and she's the daughter of Peggy Lipton. And yeah, she's the daughter. She is the daughter of Peggy Lipton and the late Quincy Jones Jr., who was a music producer and a singer. And he's like a music producer. He was known for working with Michael Jackson, rest in peace. He was known for working with Warner William. He was known for working with Eddie Gordetsky and Warner William. You know what I'm saying? In the early '90s for Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know, he did some work on the movie. You know what I'm saying? And what Will Smith had being featured in the movie. You know, it's called 6 Degrees of Separation. You know what I'm saying? Well, Will Smith was featured on it. Yeah, a sex scene instead with a gay sex scene with him and Stockard Channing. You probably see a scene with Stockard Channing is having some freaky gay ass sex with Will Smith in the scene. The lady caught him. Lady caught him when they were doing it in the bed. She screamed. So, but and another person that Tupac Shakur had brought to Vegas was his cousin Jamala Lassane. Jamala Lassane, his cousin. Like, why the hell did he have to bring them to Vegas anyway? Stemming from the old picture they have of Tupac, his cousin Jamala, and you got Ron G, who was Biggie's friend. That Pac have already met Ron G through Biggie. He met him through Biggie. Because Ron G is Biggie's friend. know what I'm saying? Ron G was like known for doing underground mixtape shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a pro of doing mixtapes, learn to do mixtapes, and learn the street politics. You know, you're doing all the other shit, man. They go come out there and punch you. They gonna hurt you, even if you're DJing or whatnot. Go against the street politics. Even though Tupac had to go to his hotel room where Kedada where Kedada and Jamala was at. So he had to go change his shirt. He had on that gold shirt he had on while he was involved in a scuffle with Orlando Anderson at the MGM. You know, Pac had to take off the gold shirt in his room, and he had to put on the he had to put on the I think it was a baseball. I think it was a basketball jersey. I think he had put on a sleeveless basketball jersey. It was a black, white, and green uh jersey, almost like a Nike jersey. I think it was after uh Frank been asking Pac that he wanted to ride with him and Suge in a BMW, and Pac told him, "No, no, you're not riding with us." Uh, he probably he's like, we needed you to take the car, take Kadada's car, yeah, take Kadada's car, and you know, drive through the outlaws, uh, and what I mean, and you can follow us, in the caravan. Frank Alexander wanted to like drive the car, so uh he had Gaddafi in the car. He had Castro, who had to be Tupac's cousin. He was in the car, and they have Edi Amin, Malcolm Greenridge, in the car. He had him in the car. He had him in the car. He had Katari Cox, uh, who had to be Castro. That's Aunt Gloria's son, Tupac's sister's son. Tupac's mother's sister's son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then you have Yafu Fula in the car. So they had to go be in a caravan when Tupac is in a black 750 BMW that Suge was gonna drive. Uh, Kevin Woods is in another car. You know what I'm saying? But he's in a caravan in armed cars. So they're supposed to be heading to Club 662 to perform, but they didn't come there. They probably headed to 662 and perform, but there's no footage of him heading to 662 on September 7th. You already got footage of him heading to 662 on November 4th of 1995. They already did their show there. But no, Pac and Suge never even head to 662 like they did in November of '95. So Pac and Suge had to be in the BMW, uh, and it was with that it's when a caravan of vehicles, along with Frank Alexander and three of the Outlaws, and Kevin Woods in another car. That's K Dub. Well, he was with Trayvon Lane. They got another car. They got another car. Guess who's in another car? Uh, I think it was Alton McDonald, and Roger. I think it was Roger Williams, who had to be neckbone. Yeah, they're in a they're in another car. They're in another car. You know what I'm saying? When they're heading into the traffic stop, here comes this off-white colored Cadillac. And the Cadillac was driven by Terrence Brown, rest in peace. He was the driver of that white Cadillac. It was a rental car. I think it belonged to he probably I don't know Keefe D. I don't know about that shit. And Keefe D started saying that the white Cadillac used to belong to to Terry Brown's mother. And then Keefe D said this in I don't know, in an interview. If it was in the late 1990s, he tried to tell it to the detectives. That's the only thing that you see here. With I mean, damn. I mean, Terry Brown is driving the white Cadillac. You know, Keefe D is in the passenger seat. Orlando Anderson was in the back seat. DeAndre Smith, you know, those three, you know, that were deceased. They were in the passenger seat. They are passengers of that car. Well, Terry's the driver. He's deceased still. Now Orlando, he's deceased now. DeAndre, he was deceased now. And then Keefe D is the survivor. So they pulled up. They pulled up on a black 750 BMW with Suge and Tupac in it. So Orlando told his uncle like hand him the gun, hand him the gun so he can shoot them, so he can shoot uh Tupac and Suge. He tried to hand that to Keefe. Keefe tried to hand that to DeAndre. DeAndre was like no, don't hand it to me. And Orlando's like motherfucker, give me the gun. I'm about to pop these motherfuckers. They want to jump me, I'm about to pop them. And that's what he said. So so Orlando had to shoot right across DeAndre. Orlando just pulled the hand right out the window with the gun, holding on to it, clutching it. He started popping it, started shooting Tupac 3 or 4 times like this. Bomb, 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 bomb. So he shoots Tupac through the passenger door. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. And then the white Cadillac gets away. Then Suge, Tupac, he got shot. He got shot by Orlando Anderson. So Suge is driving out of Cobo and Flamingo like a fucking madman. He's he's rushing to drive Tupac to the hospital. So he drove all the way. So he drove to the hospital, but it was too late. The tires just careened and just popped. It just caught flats. He had to go drive. And he drove and hit a stop and broke down. The car just broke down. The tires just popped. It was on the corner of East Las Vegas Boulevard, and it was on Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon Avenue. So the car was riddled with yellow tape. They pulled Suge out of the car. Cops, bicycle cops, pulled them over, and he told them the music was too loud. The music was so too loud. Long before this. So the Las Vegas Metropolitan cops, they pulled Suge out of the driver's seat of the car. They held him down. They pulled him down to they had him facing down to the concrete. And Frank Alexander comes out of the car. Frank Alexander comes out of another car. And he told the cops, "Hey, let him up, let him up, let him up. He's part of the entourage and all that." So and Frank acted like he's LAPD. Come on, the guy's Marine. He knows how to save somebody. The two cops, they couldn't even open up the passenger door. Looks like they needed somebody to help him uh force open that door. These two cops couldn't even open the door. They're glad to let him. They glad to let Suge get up and help them pry that door open and pull the door open. They pulled the door open. They had to pull Tupac. They had to pull Tupac out of the passenger seat. He was bleeding from the passenger seat. Chris Carroll just said to him like Tupac, like speak to me. Who shot you? He just like and Tupac just said to him in a derogatory, profane like way. He said like these two words like fuck you. He had the emphasis. He had said that. He said it to Chris Carroll, who was a cop, who was a bicycle cop, who was in this crime scene. You know, so Tupac said "fuck you" to him. Like nigga got this rock and roll. Tupac had this rock and roll, not cooperating type of mentality. It's just like It's like some rock and roll. It's like the rock and roll type shit. He ain't he ain't he ain't telling periodically. He ain't snitching. So he took his last breath until until they had to until they had to rush him to the hospital, the University Medical Center in Vegas. Yeah, as we hear the emphasis of the F that he said, to Carol. Shakur had said that to Carol, like, tell him fuck him. Like, he ain't telling. So the thing with Tupac, like, not cooperating, he could have took his last breath. This is dying declaration there. So they brought Greg McCurdy out. They brought out Greg McCurdy. You know what I mean? In front of the camera, they brought out Paige Hemis. They brought out Paige Hemis, who was seen at a show, at a Tupac Shakur concert. She started telling him that she saw a helicopter that took Tupac to a UMC hospital while he was shot. She was holding a camcorder, like a video, like she holding a video camera. She holding a video camera in her hand, like this. And then 6 days later, Tupac was pronounced dead. 4:03 p.m. on September 13th, 1996. He was 25 years old. And he leaves behind his mother, Afeni Shakur, his other mother, who had to be Alice Crooks, his father, Billy Garland, his brother, Mopun Shakur, his brother, Billy Garland Jr., and his sister, Setchua. His sister, Setchua Shakur. Set Shakur. But rest in peace to him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, rest in peace to Tupac Shakur, Afeni Shakur, and Mutulu, and Dr. Mutulu Shakur. That's right. I said it right. Dr. Mutulu Shakur. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to them, because they're the ones that there's these three people that's no longer on this earth. R.I.P. to all three of them. So that's where, damn, the memories could have been sad. You know what I'm saying? Dale Pugh had to be informing the reporters about the condition of Tupac. Even though they took his lung right out of his body. It's bad enough that he had to suffer another attempt. He's still resting in peace now, but his legacy will still live on through his music. his death will not be in vain periodically because he's one of the biggest rappers of all time. He's an icon. That's why I kept that Tupac Shakur book to this day. I kept it to this day. I usually had two Tupac Shakur books. I kept those to myself, and I took one. I keep one. I took the other book and gave it to a fellow resident who hasn't even read the book. So I kept the Tupac Shakur book. But R.I.P. to Tupac. He will be missed.